Hi, everyone. This is Jim Pikarski. Um, I teach meditation and give Dharma talks at the Blue Lotus Meditation Center here in Venice, Florida. Today, I'd like to talk about spiritual inquiry. Spiritual inquiry is extremely important to penetrate into understanding the Dharma, understanding wisdom, and making progress on the path. Inquiry is essential for realization. The Buddha left his princely life because he had deep questions about life. He was an inquirer. The Dalai Lama says that he mostly engages in analytical meditation or inquiry. In the Book of Joy, he says that. Inquiry usually has a strong adherence to subjective experience. We really need to check our own experience to find out what is true. What are we actually experiencing? Not what do I know intellectually, but what am I seeing directly? Another quote is from Zen. It says, "Where there is great doubt, there is great awakening. Where there is little doubt, there is little awakening. Where there is no doubt, there is no awakening." Exploring doubt was essential in Zen. Otherwise, you just be a believer and not a realizer. So doubt in this situation really means if you don't fully understand it, go into it, find out what's true. We really need to transform spiritual teachings into a personal realization. In other words, something that we experience ourselves. It's similar to contemplation in Christianity. I think they may use a similar terminology in Sufism. Certainly, all the religions of the East talk about it. Analytical meditation, sometimes in Buddhism, or analytical inquiry. It goes deeper than just understanding things intellectually. You could use an analogy. Inquiry is like digestion. So it's a process. You just can't bite into an apple. You need to chew it, swallow it, and digest it. Only then can it be used by your body for nurturance, energy. So inquiry enlivens spiritual teachings, changes them to direct realization. The basic questions of spiritual inquiry. Is this true? How is this true? In my own experience, can I see how this is true? So we really need to make it this personal. We need to see it directly. Belief without inquiry is just holding dogmas, being dogmatic. The problem with spiritual teachings is sometimes they can just be so inspiring just on themselves that we hold them highly and without truly understanding them. And I think it's really important to understand what we're learning, to contemplate it, make it our own. You can tell when people are on a purely intellectual level, they can have arguments with others. Arguments with others is when the ego holds on to a particular way of looking at things and can't let go. It will come in conflict with other opinions. That spiritual teachings in essence are limited. They're limited because they're thoughts, and thoughts are relative and dualistic. We make the teachings alive through inquiry. In Buddhism, they had 3 levels. Hearing, where you just kind of recognize things. In psychology, they talk about recognition. Then intellectual understanding. Intellectual understanding means you understand it intellectually and can, talk about it, and it seems like a firm understanding intellectually of the idea. And the third is realization. Realization is when you see it so deeply in your life that it transforms you. And this is the thing that spiritual teachings need to do, is they need to transform us. Meditation can be very helpful in spiritual inquiry. One thing meditation does is stabilize the mind. When the mind is stabilized, then preconceived notions can be put aside so that you can see things directly. Your preconceived notions are not going to get in the way. It's like you remove the static by quieting your mind. You also have experiences in meditation that can inform your understanding. So, for instance, you may have experiences of non-conceptuality, you may have other types of experiences that are beyond the norm. These experiences are not helpful in themselves, they're helpful as doorways to understanding. So, when you have a quiet mind and all of a sudden thought stops, you can look at non-conceptuality, you can explore it, you can kind of see what this awareness is that is not dependent upon thought or any ideas. In Buddhism, they talk about needing to quiet your mind through calm abiding meditation before you practice Vipassana. Vipassana is more inquiry. So even, it's interesting, even faiths that are more focused on belief and faith, like Christianity, they still have contemplatives. Contemplatives, they contemplate the teachings of Christianity. And by contemplating the teachings of Christianity, they take themselves very deep into understanding life, themselves, and God. So we need to learn how to transform stale dogma, and anything that's in thought is stale until it's realized, until it's enlivened with our own inquiry. So the important thing is to question everything. Question everything for a purpose, not to just be anti-things. It's really for a purpose. The purpose is to question them so that you can understand them deeper. So we need to question spiritual teachings, we need to question spiritual teachers, and we need to question our own thoughts and beliefs and preconceived notions. If we do this, and we still have a desire for truth, then it is not just pure skepticism. One extreme is, just being a skeptic who refuses to inquire but just dismisses things out of hand. The other extreme is the dogmatist who just believes. So we really want to find the middle way. We want to find the middle way between dogmatism and just acceptance. So we all run into dogmatists. They love to argue about their points of view, and they're right and everybody else is wrong. And we also have run into skeptics. Skeptics are the people who just basically say that it doesn't exist. Why should I even bother with it? I'm not even going to look into it. And their mind is basically closed. So the skepticism, it goes too far. It closes the mind rather than you just want to take it to the point where it encourages people to inquire. You don't want to take it to the point where it closes your mind. So I'd encourage everybody to become a contemplative, one who inquires, one who is skeptical, but still persists in trying to see what is meant by any teaching or any teacher. You need to see it directly in your experience. You need to work with it. You need to digest it. You need to chew it and process to find the kernel that will set you free. Don't automatically take teachings as true. There is no truth in words and concepts. Words and concepts are just descriptors. They can point to truth or they can describe truth, but they're not truth themselves. So don't get caught into intellectual understanding. Don't stop there. Another way to look at this is it's not so much whether things are true or not. You can ask yourself, are they helpful? This is the thing with teachings. They're meant to be helpful. They're not meant to be just some, truth, because concepts can't hold truth. Not the truth we're talking about. Can point to truth. Even, a simple thing like the tree is green. Well, if you've never seen a tree, you don't know if it's true or not, because you can't tell. If you've never seen green, you don't even know what the person's talking about. So you always have to go back to your experience to find out what's true. And unfortunately, a lot of times in spiritual teachings, people don't take the energy to do this. They don't go back to their immediate experience and truly see what is being meant by the teachings. Thank you.